Good morning and welcome to Insiders. The world's attention this week was on two major events, the disaster in Japan and the unfolding situation in Libya. But at home, the issue that is defining federal politics in 2011, climate change, was gathering pace just the same. The Prime Minister finally declared loud and clear that she had walked away from a pre-election commitment. Tony Abbott declared that carbon dioxide is not the villain that many people think it is, and then thought better of it. And a government advisor may have found the game changer. Bury this talk of a great big new tax with a great big new tax cut. And the Greens, well, they're travelling so well that they took a slap from the Prime Minister with a smile.
How much of your recent poor polling results do you attribute to your lie on the carbon tax?
I did say during the last election campaign, I promised that there would be no carbon tax.
There will be no carbon tax under a government I lead.
That's true, and I've walked away from that commitment, and I'm not going to try and pretend anything else.
It was a performance worthy of Walt Disney.
Mr Abbott doesn't care about climate change because he doesn't believe in climate change. Yes, he says the right thing to the wider community.
Climate change is real. Mankind contributes to it.
But put him on Talkback Radio and his true opinions emerge.
Whether carbon dioxide is quite the environmental villain that some people make it out to be is not yet proven.
We are living through an awful contest between knowledge and ignorance.
In this minority parliament, the only way I can act on climate change by pricing carbon is to work with others.
The Greens made me do it, she said.
It brings a little smile to one's face.
And so, I had a really stark choice. Do I act or not act? Well, I've chosen to act.
Isn't there something slightly sad about an Australian Prime Minister forced into something by Senator Bob Brown?
As an ideas bank for Australia's future, you won't get better than the Greens.
It is likely that Australia's carbon price would need to commence at around $25.
So, a $25 a tonne carbon price means $300 a year on your electricity bill. It means 6.5 cents a litre on your petrol bill, and that's just for starters.
Of course, the government has not made any decision in relation to that at this stage.
Low and middle income earners in Australia will be better off directly as a result of these arrangements.
That's an important observation on his part.
We now have an absurd situation where the Treasurer doesn't appear at the announcement of new tax cuts.
And in addition, future generations of their family will be protected from dangerous climate change.
My argument is not with Garno, it's with the government.
But now I think it's time I live my life on my own. I guess it's just what I must do.
We should be especially grateful to have Tony with us today because I understand there was a flurry this morning when his staff tried to explain to him it was a green event about a saint. And he had to be convinced it was Patrick and not Bob.
And it's good to see the Prime Minister wearing green without any prompting from Bob Brown.
The Greens are not a party of government.
She had a slap at the Greens in the middle of a very good speech.
And have no tradition of striking the balance required to deliver major reform.
There's product differentiation going on here.
Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me,
Neither of the extremes in Australian politics can deliver this reform.
The Prime Minister can't simultaneously call the Greens extreme and at the same time be in a government with them.
The Greens are only extreme in the sense of extremely popular and growing.
This is a reform that can only be handled in the progressive Labor tradition.
If Labor keeps taking our policies, I think they'll keep doing all right.